Hello and welcome to a third video and concerning the regression of a linear regression for a simple model with two variables. The one independent variable in this case is going to continue to be the quantity sold, and one independent variable, which is in this case is the price. We notice after we run the model earlier, we find the coefficients for which is the intercept in the price, and the coefficient for the price is basically a negative value, which is clearly indicate that there is a negative slope. And if the slope is negative, it means there is an inverse relationship between the two variables, which means if the price goes up, the quantity sold is going to go down, and if the price goes down, the quantity sold is going to go up. So basically, that's going to tell us a lot about the story and how we're going to use the predicted model in order to give us the quantity sold at any given price. And that's the beauty of using regression in order to really come up with our own prediction. Let's go ahead and understand this even farther. What I need to remind you that we have this equation now that's going to be beta 0, which is I don't have really a way of or using Greek letter, so I'm using approximate of a Greek letter that B is supposed to be beta. Beta 0 plus beta 1, which is beta 0 is the intercept, and beta 1 is going to be the slope for X, which is in this case is the price. So this is my model, and notice Excel gave me the predicted quantity sold based on the price 0 as an observation 1. We wanted to see the residuals, which means what? How the distance from the actual observed value of 8,500 when the price was 2 versus the result that was given to us by the actual actual model that I created through the regression analysis. So what is this residual? Residual is the error. That's why we need to also put here in this one here plus the error. Also, that could be used as a little Greek letter, which is the E, which I don't have now. I could actually insert it, but I'm not going to be busy looking for it now through the insert symbols here. I could find it if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and save you trouble of looking at it for a couple of minutes. So what is that residual? The residual is basically is going to be this value minus this, I'm sorry, minus this value, which is the predicted quantity sold by the model. How did we obtain this? Again, this is, I could go ahead and delete those and show you how we got those 7 values. I'll restore the observation number in a second. This is basically this, which is the intercept plus whatever the slope in this case is going to be a negative, plus multiplied by negative is going to be uh, uh, a negative. That's going to be multiplied by the price. And go ahead and notice if I hit enter, it's going to give me the same exact value that Excel predicted for me. So that's basically the predicted value based on the model that was generated by the analysis, statistical analysis, and between the actual quantity sold, which really the observed. That's what gave me actually the residual. The residual is going to be 8,500 minus the predicted value by the model. If I could use just to prove to you that simply that everything here, the reason I didn't get it, no big deal. I'm going to leave it like it is, but I need to lock B27 because these two values are isolated by themselves. Lock this also, put F4. I'm pressing F4 if you forgot that F4 is the key in the keyboard to lock, and go ahead and do it in a couple clicks or drags, and you'll be able to see that. So these basically the calculated value as a predicted quantity sold based on the model. And I'm going to restore those two values here, the observation number. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way down. This is nothing to do with money. So I'm going to go ahead and restore it as a number. And of course, maybe general would be good because that will eliminate immediately the decimal point for me. So let's go ahead and make sure that we understand the residual one more time. It's really the distance from the actual observed value, minus the predicted quantity sold. Of course, not all of them going to be positive, because if the quantity sold as an observed value is less than the predicted quantity sold by the model, we're going to get a negative value. Look here, this is the residual, is the error. Let me go ahead and show you, if I added all these, I'm going to add all of these, the residual of the error, and let's see what is the value that we're going to get. We're going to get such a small value, almost a 0. Why is that? Because the addition of all these, the errors, the number of the errors on the top of the lines, or the top of the actual values, is going to be equal to the values below that values. Which usually, if you notice here in this one here, I really don't like the way Excel chart this, because it takes the first value and actually use it as a label. I'm going to go ahead and delete this by hitting enter and show you how to basically uh, show it to you from scratch. So let's go ahead and do that. So it looks really meaningful instead of kind of all sort of junk that is created by Excel, because you are controlling how Excel should behave instead of the other way around. So I'm going to go ahead and insert blank scattered. That's blank scattered. And remember, I have the price and I have the residual that I wanted to see the distance from the actual price. Where is really this going to be a little bit up from the price too. There's another price too, which is minus 276. Anyway, let's go ahead and do that. Since I already created an empty scattered chart, I could go ahead and select the data myself. So first of all, I want to go ahead and add the scenario name. You could call it in these residuals, or you could call it whatever you want now, because it's your control, right? The series of the X, I wanted X to be the prices. There we go. Okay. And for series Y, you must select this curly braces, or we call them braces, and delete it. If you don't delete it, if you type it on the top of it, it's not going to be deleted. So you really have to delete it manually. Just get rid of it completely. And now put the residual on the top of, actually select the residual and click OK. And OK it. And here we go. Absolutely, this is what I like to see, because Excel did not really give me what I wanted to see, because it's really used the observation number, distorted things. Anyway, to even make it more meaningful, I'm going to go ahead into the quick layout, enter the design. Remember, when you select the chart, it's going to give you it's going to give you the chart tools as an added ribbon. And within that ribbon, we have 2 options. The design is going to have the quick layout, just like it had the select data. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, or this one, or this one. Actually, this one, what I need, because I wanted to show these values. See that at $2, let me go ahead and show at price 2, I have 2 values. I have the residuals, not the values for the residuals. So I wanted to see which residual on the top and at what a price. So that's the 823 is distance from the line 0 here. Let's go ahead and call it the line 0 for a second. Because this is the prices, the original prices are at the observed value. So at here, we have 8,500 right here. With this one here, it's 8. With this one here, it's $2 with 8,500. But the model, it actually at $2, it's give me 7,676. So the residual will tell me how distant I am from the original value. At a price 2, I had two values. One of them is 8,230, and the other one is minus 276. So let me go ahead and format this one a little bit better. Uh, First of all, I could go ahead and change this by calling this price. See? And here we're going to go ahead and say quantity sold. Okay. And for this one here, just click one time, not twice. If you click twice, you're going to select only one of them, and it's not going to be applicable to all of them. So again, click on any one of them one time, any one of those one time. Then you click the right button, go to Format Data Label, and now we're going to go to Number, okay? And I'm going to leave it general, but it's going to get rid of the $sign. That's fine, all right, because I wanted to apply, leave those as a general, okay? Or number, I'm sorry, number, not number. And I don't want to have any decimal points for both of them. Or maybe we could leave it at 2, okay, 2 digit to the right of the decimal points, because that would be even better, because we will be able to look that there's a lot of values to the right. And if we have negative, you would like to have it as minus, or you could have it as red color if you choose to. So let's go ahead and make it red to show that the negative values in the residual values are, some of them are red, which must be under the 0 line, as we stated earlier. And I'm going to be happy with this, so I could close this. And now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a cleaning. You could click on this one here, go to the edge of the, and drag it out, so it doesn't have to, they don't have to fight each other for the space. The same thing here. This one here, I could go ahead and take it a little bit down, and it will follow you with the arrow, so you're not really losing anything in that case. So notice here at price 2, we have the negative value of minus. Here we go. So look, those are the distance, the what we call it, the error on the predicted value by the model from the actual observed value. So the residual is actually the error, or the sum of the error. Of course, I don't want to really get you dizzy through all the calculation that we usually do in a statistical analysis, with the traditional formulas and the use, because here we're focusing on using Excel to do all the work for us. I hope you learned the fact that the residual is an indication to what we call the error, which means when we're comparing the observed value to the calculated value by the actual model, those are called the errors or the residual. I could get away with it without having to explain the residual, because mostly I'm concerned with the fact, as I said, with the B values, which really the prediction value, and how what we call reliable it is, as long as it is less than 0.05. That's what we chose to have it. As long as it's less than 0.5, we are going to accept it. Also, the significant of the significant F is going to be also less than 0.5. So we check that as we did in the first couple videos. Then we check those. If both of them pass the hard test of being less than 0.5, then we go ahead and examine all these little things around. And what I would like you to see now, if somebody say, what will happen to the quantity sold if I have a price other than these here listed? You see here, I don't have price 6. I don't have any price with the fraction of the value, like 2.3 or 2.5 or 2.36 or whatever. So choose any sort of prices, then you will be able to calculate the quantity sold. Let me go ahead and show you here. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and do this quickly. Thanks for Excel. This one here multiplied by price of, let's say, $6. So that's the quantity sold. Obviously, it's going to be less because the price got too high. And if I change that price to, let's say, $1.85, just quickly make up a price, and notice how things going to be like a story will be told immediately once you really give it that input variable, which is in this case is the price. I think I'm not going to make another video, so I'm going to quickly, I know it's a long video, I apologize about the length of it, knowing this is very, very important topic for you to understand. If I could go ahead and now do the quantity sold only based on the advertising, and we will see quickly what type of relationship we're going to get. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this by itself, press the control key to allow me to copy or select rather first couple ranges that are discontiguous, meaning not next to each other. I'm going to go to sheet 2, click that and paste it, and I'm going to go to that view and make it 200%, so I'll be able to see it. And I'm going to run another statistical analysis based on regression to see how does actually the quantity sold as the dependent variable is going to react to the advertising based on these observed values, without really getting you through a long, lengthy discussion, because probably you know how to look at the residual yourself, you know how to actually do the interpretation of the equation that is going to result from using the intercept along with the coefficient of the advertising now as X value. The X value now the advertising, Y is going to be the quantity sold. Quickly, I'm going to go to data, go to data analysis, look at the regression which was selected, and now we're going to have basically exactly what I'm hoping for. So it's the same thing that we used in the previous one. I don't want it to actually do the residual blots anymore because I could control that much better myself. And remember in the previous time we selected it, but now I know that might not be making me happy as a result, so I'm going to do it by myself. Here we go. And look here. First of all, look at how little is the R square. The correlation is not going to be really very, it's not a hot item here, let's put it this way. And what we wanted to do, the advertising immediately going to be dropped from this by itself because this value in the significant F is really way too large. You know, is this larger than, or is that less than 0.05, and it's false, so we have to drop the advertising, and there will be no model really for us because we're only going to have the intercept by itself, which is not going to really help. But in the future videos, we're going to actually combine both the advertising and the price and see how the price and the advertising can work together and if there is an impact as a result of that. Of course, those are the residual, and notice here the significance of the advertising as a prediction value is very, very insignificant. I cannot use it. Look, the correlation also was so little, I mean, toward really the end of the close to zero. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to be continuing the discussion. In the new set of videos, we're going to be talking about multiple linear regression, and we're going to learn about a lot of stuff pertaining to economics and, of course, social sciences in general. Thank you very much, and have a great day.